Welcome to the all-new Hoop Nova, your ultimate source for everything basketball.
Kevin Durant has never been afraid to speak his mind online, but his latest comments have NBA fans debating all over again. Years after the infamous burner account controversy, Durant once again found himself in the spotlight after replying to a fan on Instagram. This time, KD claimed that LeBron James' new-look Philadelphia 76ers would be a better team than the legendary 2017 Golden State Warriors, and according to him, it isn't even close. His reasoning focused almost entirely on star power. Joel Embiid is a former MVP. Jaylen Brown is coming off a Finals MVP. Tyrese Maxey has become one of the NBA's brightest young all-stars. Add LeBron James to that group, and Durant argued the Sixers simply have more elite talent than the Warriors ever did. He even compared individual resumes, suggesting Klay Thompson was never an MVP candidate, and pointing to Draymond Green's modest scoring numbers. On paper, Durant believes the Sixers have the superior roster. Naturally, the comments spread across social media within minutes, and fans immediately started pushing back. The biggest problem with Durant's argument is that it treats basketball like a video game. Championships aren't won by adding together points per game or counting how many all-stars are on the roster. Team chemistry, fit, defense, leadership, and sacrifice matter just as much as raw talent. The 2017 Warriors weren't just another super team. They were already one of the greatest teams ever before Durant arrived. A season before signing KD, Golden State won an NBA record 70 through regular season games and came within a single victory of another championship. Then, they added one of the greatest scorers in basketball history to an already historic roster. That wasn't simply for talented players sharing the floor. It was a perfectly constructed basketball machine. Steph Curry transformed defenses every possession with his off-ball movement and unlimited shooting range. Klay Thompson didn't need constant touches to score 30 or even 60 points. Draymond Green controlled the defense, pushed the pace, and acted as the team's emotional leader. Durant gave them an unstoppable isolation scorer whenever the offense stalled. Each player accepted a specific role, and that's what made them nearly impossible to beat. Looking only at Draymond's points, rebounds, and assists completely misses what made him special. His greatest impact rarely appeared in the box score. He quarterbacked the defense, switched onto every position, created offense through passing, and constantly made winning plays that statistics couldn't fully measure. Few players in NBA history have had a bigger impact than their traditional numbers. Suggests the same applies to Klay Thompson. Durant dismissed him by mentioning his scoring average, but Klay's value went far beyond points per game. He willingly sacrificed touches to help the team win, yet he could explode for historic performances without dominating the basketball. Remember his famous 60-point game? He scored 60 while taking only 11 dribbles before shooting. That's almost impossible to imagine in today's NBA. Or think back to the 2016 Western Conference Finals. Golden State faced elimination against Durant's Oklahoma City Thunder. While everyone remembers Steph Curry, it was Klay Thompson who erupted for 41 points and drilled 11 three-pointers in Game 6, saving the Warriors' season. Without that performance, Durant probably never joins Golden State in the first place. Those moments explain why simply comparing scoring averages doesn't tell the whole story. Another important difference is roster balance. The Warriors had multiple stars, but every player understood exactly how they fit together. Steph embraced movement without the ball. Klay accepted fewer touches. Draymond focused on defense and playmaking. Andre Iguodala willingly came off the bench despite being an all-star earlier in his career. Everyone sacrificed something. That's incredibly difficult to replicate. The hypothetical Sixers lineup may have tremendous talent, but it would also feature several players used to being the primary offensive option. LeBron James, Joel Embiid, Jaylen Brown, and Tyrese Maxey all thrive with significant responsibilities. Talent alone doesn't guarantee chemistry. History has shown that plenty of star-studded teams have struggled because roles weren't clearly defined. There's also another comparison that many fans question. Durant described Joel Embiid as being equivalent to the MVP version of Steph Curry that he joined in Golden State. That comparison feels difficult to support. When Durant signed with the Warriors, Curry was still in his absolute prime after winning multiple MVP awards and leading one of the greatest regular seasons ever. Today's Embiid remains an elite player when healthy, but injuries have limited his availability in recent seasons. Comparing the two situations ignores very different stages of their careers, whether intentional or not. Durant's comments also reopened old conversations about his own legacy, ever since leaving Oklahoma City for Golden State in 2016. Critics have argued that he chose the easiest possible path to winning championships. Fair or unfair, those debates have followed him throughout his career. By claiming LeBron's situation would be even stronger than his own Warriors team. Some fans believe Durant is still trying to defend that decision years later. That's why these comments attracted so much attention. Instead of simply praising Philadelphia's potential, many people interpreted his statement as another attempt to reshape how history views his championships. No one questions Durant's greatness. He's one of the most gifted scorers basketball has ever seen and will undoubtedly be remembered among the NBA's all-time legends. But legacy debates rarely disappear, especially when players continue responding to criticism online. Whether Durant truly believes the Sixers would surpass the 2017 Warriors or was simply sharing his opinion in the moment, one thing is certain: the conversation isn't ending anytime soon. And if history has taught us anything, comparing a hypothetical super team to one of the greatest championship teams ever assembled is always going to spark controversy. Even years after the burner account controversy, Kevin Durant still seems unable to ignore what strangers on social media say about him. Instead of letting the criticism fade away, he often jumps back into the conversation, keeping old debates alive. That has become one of the biggest talking points surrounding Durant's career. Rather than allowing his incredible accomplishments to speak for themselves, he frequently responds to online criticism, giving fans another reason to revisit the same legacy arguments. It's especially surprising because Golden State should be one of the places where Durant receives the most appreciation. During his 3 seasons with the Warriors, he helped build one of the greatest teams in NBA history, won back-to-back championships, earned 2 Finals MVP awards, and even suffered a devastating Achilles injury while trying to help the franchise win another title. For many Warriors fans, those moments should have cemented Durant as a franchise legend forever. Instead, the relationship often feels more complicated than it needs to be. Over the years, Durant has occasionally distanced himself from Golden State, and every new social media exchange seems to reopen old conversations that many thought were finished. Compare that with someone like Charles Barkley. Barkley has always been brutally honest, but his confidence comes across very differently. Whether people criticize his opinions, joke about his weight, or tease him for falling asleep during a game broadcast, Barkley usually laughs along with everyone else. He rarely appears bothered by public criticism, and that relaxed attitude has made him one of the most beloved personalities in basketball media. Fans enjoy watching someone who seems comfortable with who they are. With Durant, however, the reaction is often the opposite. Every time he responds to critics online, it creates the impression that those comments genuinely bother him. Fair or not, that perception fuels even more discussion about his decision to join the already dominant Warriors in 2016. Ironically, every attempt to defend that choice often brings even more attention back to it. If Durant simply embraced his role on those championship teams and celebrated everything they accomplished together, many fans would probably stop debating it altogether. Instead, every new comment seems to restart the conversation. Of course, personality plays a role here as well. Some people are naturally outgoing and optimistic, while others are more private and introspective. NBA history is filled with players whose personalities couldn't be more different. Magic Johnson built a reputation as one of the league's most positive and energetic figures, always smiling and connecting with people wherever he went. That optimism became part of his identity. Durant has always appeared to be wired differently. He seems more reserved, more reflective, and more willing to engage with criticism than many other superstars. None of that changes what he's accomplished on the court. He's still one of the greatest scorers the NBA has ever seen and a future Hall of Famer. But when fans discuss his legacy, the conversation often shifts away from basketball and toward his online interactions. That's what makes these moments so fascinating. Instead of highlighting an all-time great career, they continue to keep old controversies alive long after they should have faded away. At the end of the day, Kevin Durant remains one of the greatest basketball players the NBA has ever seen. His talent has never been questioned. The real debate has always been about how he handles criticism and how that shapes the public's perception of him. Every superstar has a different personality. Some thrive in the spotlight and laugh off criticism, while others take every comment personally. Durant has always seemed to fall into the second category. Throughout his career, he's shown that he pays close attention to what fans and media say, and from time to time, he chooses to respond directly. That habit has become almost as much a part of his public image as his incredible scoring ability. You can see similar patterns with other famous athletes. Some are naturally private and reflective, while others openly share their thoughts and emotions. There's no single right personality, but the way a player reacts to pressure often becomes part of their legacy just as much as their performances on the court. For Durant, the challenge seems to be moving beyond the constant conversation surrounding his championships and legacy. No matter how many points he scores or awards he wins, the same questions keep returning. Every social media exchange seems to reopen old debates that might otherwise have faded with time. Many athletes eventually find new passions outside basketball that help them stay grounded. Some focus on business, others on family, coaching, philanthropy, or creative projects. Finding something meaningful beyond the game can often change how they're viewed and, more importantly, how they view themselves. We've seen plenty of NBA legends reinvent themselves after or even during their playing careers. Some have become successful broadcasters, filmmakers, entrepreneurs, or community leaders. Others have embraced mentorship and used their experience to inspire younger players. Those new chapters often become just as important as their achievements on the court. Kevin Durant is still writing his story. He's already guaranteed himself a place among basketball's all-time greats, and there's still time for his legacy to evolve. Whether fans remember him primarily for his scoring brilliance, his championships, or his online interactions will depend largely on what comes next. As for this latest controversy, one thing is certain: it has reignited one of basketball's oldest debates. Was the 2017 Warriors team the greatest super team ever assembled? Could a LeBron-led Sixers roster actually compare? Those questions will continue to divide NBA fans for years because they're built on opinions, not definitive answers. That's what makes sports so entertaining. Every fan has a different perspective, and every generation has its own unforgettable teams and players. Now it's your turn. Do you agree with Kevin Durant's take? Or do you think the 2017 Warriors are still on a completely different level? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read as many of them as I can, and I'd love to hear your opinion. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more videos, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest NBA news, trade rumors, and basketball debates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.